Hey everybody, just give me a quick moment of your time as I got to talk about something super important for you all. Before we begin tonight, don't forget to check out our sponsors at Homie and the Dude as they promote their Kickstarter project, The Wandering Tavern, a Studio Ghibli inspired floating system agnostic TTRPG setting with optional D&D 5e stats. Now, if you've heard our before announcements about this, you know that it's packed full of plot hooks, mysteries, threats, and everything you need for a campaign. However, if you have an established world setting, the Wandering Tavern is a perfect, unique pit stop for your players to encounter, where they can delve into a different style adventure, or if you're already running something Studio Ghibli inspired, it can fit perfectly right in. Now, they have this immense soaring city with battle maps that detail its every nook and cranny. You get to know all of the unique patrons and staff, so you don't have to create anything unless you want to. Who knows, maybe your players are the ones that ask every single character they encounter or see on the streets their name and their whole life story. I've been there. Now, they get to untangle dark mysteries if they choose to. They get to find remarkable magical items that Homie and the Dude have created for you. Twisted spirits that have this whole involvement in everything. And they get to explore airship travel on these brand new pieces of machinery called Zephyrs. Now, you get 51 parts and stations to customize with 5Es, stat blocks, and it just makes your journey a super easy breeze. However, if you back early, you receive a free subscription to their shipbuilder webpage application. This builder shows users how to create their dream airships, where you can mix and match over 200 parts and stations, with even more on the way for just truly endless combinations. And once you're done, it then provides a fully custom airship D&D 5e compatible stat block, which is just crazy helpful. Now, I talked a little bit about how we got to see some of the details, and I just want to go over that with you guys because it's awesome. They got a real chef in there creating real recipes for you and your players to enjoy or just talk about in your game. Your mouth will start to water though, so I just highly recommend you make them because they got some top-notch stuff in there. The shipbuilder is incredibly hardcore with so many choices and details. I'm sure any sadistic DMs like myself out there could come up with some sick airship battles. Now, the battle maps are fully extensive, covering all layers of the tavern. There's 14 of them, by the way. And they have incredible backstories that you don't always get that kind of flavor text to help you as a DM if you're running a pre-written module or even your own stuff. We make up so much stuff on the fly. I know I'm certainly one of those. Now, for other things that your players can interact with, they have these things called ghost wards. They have fake illicit substances and so much more, and it just really nails the Studio Ghibli vibes down pat. So we're certainly big supporters of the project. We hope that you will check it out and follow our custom link in the description to show your support. We'll see you in the skies. And a special thank you to Homie and the Dude for sponsoring us, and enjoy this week's episode of the Madness Table. Well, big stuff happened last time. You guys managed to make your way to the small goblin camp where you had met up with Rotmud and Quilzin and all the others. You had taken the time to kind of better inform yourselves with the help of everybody in this camp on what's going on. Who are these people that they were going to reach out for help? And you landed upon trying to reach out with the now absent black dragon Delkvir, who lived to the north in the swamps but hadn't been seen for about 2 or so weeks. After resting, you guys decided to head north through the night under careful guidance of one of the others. And after, I believe I had said 6 hours, you had made it to the ancient ruins that beneath dwells Delkvir. And with the clever use of some spells, you managed to identify that they were there, but something about their presence was twisted. And as you descended into the ruins, you came across an illusionary wall and parted the vines and roots to see a semi-flooded chamber with a torn-apart, desiccated black dragon skeleton sitting upon a very large hoard. And amidst on the this hoard, and on the very pinnacle of it, sits this semi-bejeweled scabbard and sword. And swirling above it was this will-o'-the-wisp-esque figure that then expanded into this phantasmal dragon, to which it has kind of greeted you. It kind of poses itself in a defensive position, this ghostly dragon, over its hoard. And it is a huge creature. Its edges of its figure kind of wave and disappear. And it's got this greenish, dark black hue, and it still resembles that of a black dragon to your eyes. What do you guys do here?
Well, above the table, I was not expecting him to be a ghost dragon. That was not on my bingo card. So I think Artomis might be a little bit like, well, hello, are you Delkvir? The dragon?
That I was and am.
So past tense a bit there. Are you? Okay. Oh, stepping back here. You're still Delkvir, the Black Dragon. Yes.
Yes.
This is just a shot in the dark here, but do you have any particular grudges against anyone calling themselves the River King?
I know of no figure that calls themselves the River King. But if you refer to that saurian abomination that infested my home, then yes. I know this River King.
Darkhollow gives Sephel and Scylla a thumbs up, like, all right. Well, we don't like him either. We have that in common, yes. Would you like to...
Oh, wonderful. We have a common hate. But why are you here?
And it grows larger, and it flurls these spectral wings.
Sephel, can dragons just get bigger like this?
My backlog of knowledge excludes dragons in past tense. So anything's up for grabs, I guess.
Well, we were wondering if you want to do a team-up. Like where we went and we killed the dragon together. Or not the dragon, the other thing. Yeah, so I got real distracted.
Did not mean that.
Dragon, do mean to slay.
My associate has stuck his greave in his mouth. We wish to form a temporary, mutually beneficial alliance to rid your swamp of the River King, so that you may rule it in death as you did in life.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Because of the dragon killing statement, the DC is a little bit higher unless someone wants to say something else.
Shocking.
But I'm going to need a persuasion check.
Scylla will step forward, and she is going to look in the creature's eyes and do a bow at her waist without dropping eye contact and step forward. You are the Lord of the Swamp? And as she asks it, she will drop eye contact and look down at her feet and wait for the response.
And this spectral head comes down very close to you, and you can just smell sulfur, rotten eggs. It's horrible. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I am decent at these.
Damn,
I believe
even
you are.
as an incorporeal being, his breath is bad.
10.
Okay. It's all right. You manage to, you can feel yourself kind of gag a little bit with this smell, but it goes,
Proper subservience. Yes, I am lord of this swamp, even in death.
I would bow to all who are more powerful and in positions of leadership in an area which I am traveling.
A sentiment that does not seem to carry with your companions.
Apologies, they speak out of turn at times. And she kind of looks at you both ow, ow.
Starcaller will catch the vibe and bend the knee.
Forgive my ancient arthritis. And I will bow.
Classic tentacle arthritis, Meg. It's your time.
It'll get you.
let's see here. Andrew, Delkvir has rolled an insight check as he sees you take a moment here to go down. What do you think? And I rolled an 18 for a total of a 20. Do you want to roll a deception check to try and oppose how Starcaller might be feeling in the fact that he's bending the knee to another being?
I would love to.
Okay.
Roll high, my friend.
Also a 20. Dirty.
Ooh. So I think what happens here is Scylla's kneeling, Sephel slowly kneels or bows, Vlad and Vasana do as well. They're a little bit behind you guys. And Delkvir's spectral head just kind of floats over everybody watching with these kind of blazing green eyes. And then finally it just kind of comes and cranes its head in front of Artomis. And I imagine, but you tell me, that it's just like staring you dead in the eye as you are probably taking the knee, as there's almost this standoff or like a challenge of wills here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like looking him dead in his eyes, and it's like so hard to tell. Is he bowing or is he like getting ready to pounce?
Yeah. To which I think you see this kind of snarl/smile spread over Delkvir's face. And he eventually pulls away from you, Artomis, and he kind of flies back in this wisp-like form to the top of his hoard here. He goes, "Good. Yes.
What could you offer me for my assistance against this usurper of my swamp?"
As players, we did not discuss this.
Discuss it now.
Sure
Discuss
did.
it now.
I remember last session we learned a couple things, like he collects ancient artifacts from old civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
So we give him Sephel.
Interesting.
That's one way to put it. You could say the same for Vlad then.
I mean,
give him the child. No,
I feel like child trafficking might not look great in our resume.
yeah, right.
I kind of. All right, this is like Starcaller's play, and I think it'll go about as well as it sounds. What we have to offer him is his kingdom back, which I don't know if his current point of view would preclude that as proper payment.
I mean, that was very much what I was attempting not to say, because if we just come in being like, we're doing you a favor, that might not go well.
I also don't know how interested he is because he's dead. So I you know what I mean? I
mean, he's pretty prideful about it.
Yeah, I think dragons are vain enough that if they have any amount of sentience, they think they hold power over the area they're in.
Guys, we could just kill the dragon and go on to these other guys, I
mean, if it goes poorly, yes, that is
how hard could it be? He's already dead.
Potentially harder.
So I was thinking the scary eyeball robe might be an ancient item.
Oh, the robe from the Pudding King, you mean?
Yeah. To me, that feels like it might hit the spot.
That's a good one.
That's great.
I mean, are they only interested in, I know that's their bread and butter, but are they interested in any artifact, or does it specifically have to be from an ancient civilization?
What you recall from your last check was Black Dragons specifically love items from lost civilizations. Doesn't necessarily have to be ancient, but anything lost or this isn't something that you could pick up necessarily somewhere else anymore. The other thing is they do love regular gold and types of treasure, specifically amongst gems. They love pearls and opals. And you can see, actually, we'll do a couple checks here because you guys are smart. I think you would everybody make a perception check here.
I mean, Scylla's got all sorts of stuff from the Naute, which would absolutely check all the boxes. She's just not willing to give it up.
Sure.
Perception, nat 20, total 24.
Nice.
Perception, nat 1, total 0.
Love that. Scylla's fully playing the part of the subservience right now. Sephel.
Riding the high middle, 16 for a total of 16.
Okay. You, Sephel, as you're looking at this giant horde underneath this spectral dragon and what remains of its carcass, and buried in the dirt and the muck and some overgrowing vegetation, you think that there is at least amongst the coins and small bits of unruined art, well close to almost 200,000 gold pieces here. You see tons of platinum, tons of gold. You see a handful of what look like priceless art objects. You, Artomis, see that there is an old quiver filled with incredible silver looking arrows. You see a couple of you see a large potion that you would recognize as a healing potion, but it's very large and grand looking. You also see a almost I hate to use it, but because our audio listeners, but my decanter, it's like a ship captain's decanter. You see a bottle like this that has this beautiful cloudy blue liquid in it. You see a very nice long spear that has got a finely wrought haft and a large point. You think it's some kind of pike, perhaps. And then you see that the most stunning piece from which Delkvir seems to almost kind of caress with its spectral claws is that bejeweled scabbard and sword hilt. It's finer than anything that you've seen. I will say, because of the checks here from Sephel and Artomis, both of you make intelligence checks, history specifically, or Arcana. I'll give you either one of those.
Nice. 26.
26, great. Start calling.
9.
Okay. Sephel, something strikes you about the sword that sits there. And it's specifically about the gems. You see that there are some missing from the hilt of this sword. You see that there are some missing from the scabbards. But you realize that there's sockets for these gems. And these gems that do remain are very finely cut. And within them seem to swirl something familiar. And then you realize that this sword must be of deep gnome make, and all those gems in it are spell gems. So this is absolutely priceless in its own right. Yep. The other thing you would know, considering this check, and as you watch Delkvir kind of sit over the horde, and you guys are kind of thinking about this in your own right, you recall in your numerous studies back in the Arcanarium that a ghostly dragon does not form unless it has an incredibly strong attachment to its horde. And that horde is a singular, priceless object is what binds it amongst its horde to the land of the living still. However, it can still have effects on the corporeal world. So there's a bunch of new knowledge for you guys. Feel free to use that in your deliberations here as to how you want to do this, or proceed or not.
I mean, Sam, not that I'm suggesting, but what all does Scylla have from the Naute other than...
Whoa,
I know,
buddy!
We're laying stuff out here.
Asking some big questions. She's got the timepiece of travel.
Yeah, that's not happening.
She's got Caliburn over my dead body.
Yeah.
And then
it might be.
The third item is her tidal chains. Which I would be very sad about. But if we needed to, absolutely would be willing to sacrifice them.
Let's call that final option.
Okay. Scary eyeball robe, though. Nobody wants that, so that was my first.
No, that's a good pitch. I'm still sitting on these fucking horseshoes of the Zephyr that I got.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god,
yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I do. I've had nothing to do with them. And
you never tried to sell them either?
No.
Yeah.
Who would buy something that is used for beasts of burden? Now we might have a good chance to, but we haven't run into a lot of beasts of burden in the Underdark, so there aren't a lot of people that would probably recognize their value.
Them gnomes had them deep rothe, so, that was a miscoverage.
Yeah, we didn't see them a lot. I wasn't fucking paying attention. Half the time I was dead.
That's fair.
Do we think that the horseshoes of Zephyr are applicable?
I mean, they're definitely it's a wondrous item. It's very rare. So that's why I was asking if it has to exclusively be from lost civilizations, because I don't think this ticks that box. But it is an artifact.
Maybe we just try that first.
Well, the other thing I was going to offer him, and this is a stretch, because I'm sure dragons prefer physical things to hoard over. But I haven't tested it a lot, but I happen to have a orb that has some sort of sight into the past of the astral plane.
That sounds important for...
I mean, I'm not going to give it to him. It would basically be like, my thought is I can offer you knowledge that no man on this plane has.
Oh, interesting.
Of a civilization that likely no longer stands.
Interesting.
It's a long shot, but
yeah.
It's the pitch that I have.
I mean,
And
that's
you...
three.
Oh, wait! The Triton are potentially a lost civilization. I have a trident that was Triton in nature. They were all
The
killed
Underdark
by...
Triton, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
You know, this is going to be a pretty great episode of Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And the dragon is the appraiser coming by your table.
See, the value is really what you place on it, right? Like,
Yeah, right. There's a
At
lot of value on
auction,
everything.
I think this
Scylla.
one fetch maybe 2 gold. So
listen,
no.
I've got a guy. Can you wait here like 5 minutes? I'll go get him.
now it turned into Pawn Stars.
Yeah, it always does. It always does.
Always does. I mean, I
Okay.
think we try for the idea where we give knowledge and don't have to give up many items.
Okay.
And when that inevitably fails, we offer something.
I mean, we have like
Sure.
the knowledge, we have the Zephyr stuff, we have the Cloak of Eyes, and the Trident. I think in that order.
Okay. Okay. Great. I'm going to get killed first.
I can sell him, baby. Come on, let me add him. Let me add him. Come on.
I mean, sure,
Let's start going.
you want to be my auctioneer?
I do. That's all
Let's
I want.
do it, baby. I make a show of it. I like still on my knee. I'll like go over to Artomis and like whisper this in his ear.
Artemis rises with a bit of aplomb. Lord Delkvir of this dread marsh, Lord of the many rivers and the lapping depths. I, Artemis Starcaller, Swarthorn of Malatair, Dragon of Deep, and Scion of the Kingdom of Ember.
Don't have more titles than him.
Trade proposal. For your aid in the battle to cleanse your lands of the foul stench of the Pretender King. We offer you knowledge that no man nor dragon possesses on this plane. A look into the astral orb, that you may see what has never yet been made known to any upon this wondrous earth.
What wondrous speeches you now have.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay, I can do it. I'll do it.
13.
Where is this orb that shows the unknown and unseen?
Just like looks at Sephel.
I will open the head of the staff, and the outer shell sort of swirls down around the haft of the stave, while the phylactery shimmers with this nebulous light.
Delkvir in ghostly form kind of stalks down his hoard towards you until he stretches his long ghostly head and stares at this orb and goes,
You would give me this orb, yet it seems to come with more. What is
And it takes this long nail and kind of strokes down the staff and goes.
Sephel like shivers as he feels his bones start to like scrape down his back.
What is this exquisite stuff?
Oh, that is but our friend's walking device and something. I believe you took off a crazy guy, if I heard the story right.
His intelligence was in question, but it is very useful to my day-to-day. You will forgive my friend's pitch. The gift that I give you is the knowledge. The staff would remain with me.
And its body kind of slinks around you, wrapping himself around you till his very large spectral head is right beside yours, like that large mouth just kind of snapping in your ear. And it kind of, he speaks to you softly.
Do you think I don't know how much more to this walking stick there is? I can feel the power running through it. Knowledge,
Wow, nice. And you can feel like this hazy pressure against your robes as like this one large ghostly claw comes closer and is like dragging itself up and down near your form and the staff.
I would have more to add to my collection. A mere glimpse is not enough for the power I could give you.
Well, then you have yourselves the right adventurers, as we come with many more glorious items more useful than a mere stave. Behold.
Go ahead.
The horseshoes of the Zephyr. A very rare magic item that is, you could put on a horse and make it very fast. I didn't actually read the fine print on this one, but I'm told it's the most valuable item in our kin.
Make a deception check.
Scylla has stepped forward and is, because this dragon is wrapped around him, he's like right there.
Oh yeah,
19.
he's got his eyes on you too. He's watching everybody. You said 19, Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His draconic ghostly head turns towards you, Artomis.
No. It is most certainly not. I can smell all you hold. And there is something deliciously dark that one of you,
He begins looking around at you all.
holds. I will take your knowledge, but I want what seems to flow and watch all.
Scylla, I believe you're up.
She will look surprised at that, as I am. And she will reach into the bag of holding and pull out the end of the cloak.
Yes, that filthy, dark-seeped piece. I want it.
She will hold it, not completely pull it out. We would make this trade if you are willing to assist. You would agree to that?
Scylla, are you wearing your chains?
Yeah, I'm wearing the chains and Caliburn.
Okay. He turns his head towards you and sniffs the cloak and then cocks his head and looks at the chains, and then he begins to like swirl about you.
You carry many fine pieces that I have not seen before. What fine additions they would make.
These items will not be up for trade. Not because I do not believe you would value them, and perhaps they would even find a place of honor in your hoard, but because these items have a future purpose to grow their lore and to grow their value. These items will be worth more in the coming years as we save both the Underdark and the plane we reside currently.
You do not believe in the power of a dragon's hoard, do you? Any treasure that sits here amongst my own gathers strength from myself and all others collected. Their lore would grow more than just in your hands with me. They would become legends in their own right.
I think Scylla, she just kind of like puts a hand on one of the title chains that I think wraps around her torso when she's not using it. Or I'm sorry, it's a ring, isn't it? It's a ring. So she like
They're
thumbs
bracelets.
The ring.
They're
bracelets. Thank you, Jesus. She like fingers one on her wrist, and then these are not available for trade.
And you're still holding the cloak, right?
Yeah. She's like, the corner of it is out of the bag. And I think as there's some hesitation, she might take a small step back. If you are not interested in the cloak, we will leave.
Oh no, I am quite interested in it.
And you can see he's almost playing kind of coy now.
The knowledge and the cloak are something worthy of a trade. But my power and my gifts have limits. Without more, but I would hear what kind of aid you would have of me.
Oh. We've got the upper hand, friends.
He slinks back to his hoard and kind of lays down upon it, and he almost kind of like shimmies his body like he could slink down into the coins again, but you see nothing moves. And he just kind of crosses his forelimbs and stares at you all.
So, what we feeling? We didn't talk about this either.
Team huddle.
Yeah.
I suppose we are a little caught off guard that you have passed. We were inquiring after the aid of a live dragon. This complicates the situation, obviously.
Indeed, it would seem that you have lost some power based on your incorporeal state. What are you capable of?
No. I have not lost much of anything.
You seem to have lost all of your subservience.
Oh, more can be gathered, fleshling. I could create new ones now if I wanted to.
Interesting.
How would you care to be my servant forever?
I feel my gifts would be wasted on you.
I think you should pass.
Oh,
I would also say no.
if you doubt my power, you can leave.
I do not doubt your power at all. Simply question your area of effect.
Those that doubt have no need for my help. You may go.
Scylla's like looking at Starcaller and Sephel like, what do we ask for?
Artomis will step forward. I believe our ask is quite simple, actually. You will aid us in battle against the Pretender King. In exchange, you receive the knowledge and the cloak.
Scylla will whip out the cloak to tempt the dragon. So it'll flick.
Do you have a plan for finding this River King? Would you have it come here to my lair once again?
I think that would
What
be...
is your full plan?
yes, the plan.
Yes, quite simple. We wish to lure the River King into a place of our advantage, onto the dry land where he cannot skulk beneath the water. This would do nicely, I do believe.
And the closer to your lair, I assume the more control over the area you have.
So this is more than just a gift from my whore to seek, or me to join you on a foreign field. You would have me risk my home, my treasures, to end this beast. Do I understand you correctly?
You give mixed messages. You take offense that we would doubt your power. Yet if your power was not in question, it would not be a risk to fight the River King nearby.
Oh, I do not fear for myself. Merely my possessions. You see, I have them just as I wish. And to see them scattered, well, I cannot move them. Would be a crime punishable by death to all involved.
We could fight him outside.
That is what I mean.
It doesn't have to be in this chamber.
His head turns upwards.
These ruins are old, but the land could serve. Well, albeit not entirely large, we are surrounded by the waters. It could slip back in. How would you contain the beast? What could you do to incense it enough that it would not fall away?
I was just thinking we'd kill all its lizard folk servants, but I don't really know if it likes them very much.
So we're thinking that this creature might flee if it thinks it's losing? Is that what we're thinking?
That's what Delkvir's asking you, because you said you don't want it. Artemis said, well, we get it out of the water. That should be pretty helpful.
Right.
So Delkvir is asking you if you're going to fight here on his island, how are you going to prevent it from possibly retreating into the water where it has both a better advantage or could run?
Got it. Do you know what the River King... It seemed to be very attracted to any of us when we were in the water. Do you know if it is attracted to movement, blood? Does it consume?
Yes, all three. It seems more a mindless beast, drawn by its hunger. It just wishes to consume, so it would seem, both the parasite within it and the former creature that it was.
And if it slips back into the water, we serve as a lure. You offer your island, and perhaps risk your hoard. We offer our bodies to abate that risk.
You would give your body if any of my hoard be disturbed?
You twist my words, worm. I merely claimed that we would use our bodies to lure the creature away should it begin to put your hoard at risk.
For my island, which does have the most suitable ground within the swamps, you may have it for the cloak. As for my direct involvement, I would need something more. Something quite lovely. You may have time to ponder what I offer you, should you need. But be careful should you wander the swamps for too long.
What are you guys thinking as a party, as players? What's going through your heads right now?
We gotta give him something.
I'm driving a hard bargain here. I know I am.
This dude's just fucking ringing us for whatever he can get. We can only call his bluff so much, though, without it turning into a thing.
He can't have Dawn's Edge. I might be willing to part with the Robe of Stars, but I will tell you, there is a 50-50 chance that I come for him after this to get it back.
I was about to say, there's some shit Starcaller goes through, so to give up something is rough.
Yeah.
And for it to be extorted out of him must be so much worse.
I also, how do you say, if a Catman can sweat, which I am not going to get into the physics of right now, he is looking at this pile of gold and he is sweating bullets.
Okay. I'm also going to throw something wild out there because that's just what I do.
I will also say, I'm surprised Scylla is being very forthcoming with items considering some of your history as well.
Whoa. She's
actually handling the social situation way better than us.
She respects authority. She respects power.
Respects power, I believe. Okay. Wild idea. Scylla, you give me the timepiece. I can offer myself as collateral.
What?
And then you want to bounce out?
I have the most means to teleport away. So I could offer my servitude.
Okay. So the intelligence 20 character is also pitching the betrayal of the undead dragon.
Brendan is pitching the betrayal of the undead dragon, not the int 20 character. I'm just throwing out, we don't have a lot of stuff that he wants.
If that's what you want to do, we could just do it, you know?
We don't have a lot of stuff he wants that we're willing to give up, and he's being incredibly stingy about this shit.
If you're saying...
Unless we have a giant, like, bat to swing, like, a crazy fucking persuasion check or something to rattle him, like, we're not going to get much further in this without some serious sacrifice.
Scylla's not... Okay, so if you're thinking that you'll just use a timepiece to, like, teleport out, then I think the Cloak of the Mounted Bank is better.
Sure.
It doesn't get you as far, but it's more guaranteed.
It's also much more obvious.
I mean,
either way, if he has counterspell, you're screwed.
Sure. It was just an idea.
Have we thought about Draconicide as an answer to our problems?
We could, and then we net zero, but like that is an option.
That's true.
Well, it's not net zero if we get the horde.
Loot. That loot and that sweet XP.
it's the scabbard for me.
Look at this jeweled sword that I have.
Yeah. I mean, alternatively, we can go find somebody else in the swamp.
You have 2 other leads, potentially.
Yeah.
And he said you could leave and come back.
I do have a question.
Yes.
If you'll forgive the arrogance that I am known for. Why have you not taken the swamp back yet?
The smile kind of comes tight on its lips, which is hard for a black dragon because they're so skeletal anyways, but even in this ghostly form, he goes,
I have enjoyed watching those goblins suffer for evading me for so long. The lizard men will soon crumble and be consumed by their River King. I need only bide my time till all comes back to me.
But you will have done nothing. There's no show of power to make the goblins fear you again. You simply waited for nature to take its course, where you could instead destroy the usurper. You say you're watching the goblins, you're watching the lizard folk. You know all the information. You see the pieces. Take the king.
Sephel, you do not see it. He does not see the board. He sees only the River King. He does not know the corruption he carries. He does not know that he is but the vanguard of an approaching army, that he will soon be beset not by one, but by many. He does not see the door drawing closed. Perhaps we take our war elsewhere.
ooh, okay, all right. There's an option here because that was some fucking great shit right there. You can either do a persuasion at advantage with Sephel doing the roll because he was trying to persuade here. Starcaller can attempt to do an intimidation check here.
Oof.
All right,
But
well,
not at advantage for the intimidation.
so let's logic this. The charisma, like, you have charisma in spades, at least compared to me.
But he's never succeeded at an intimidation roll when it mattered.
Well, and the intimidation check is probably going to be a significantly higher DC.
And I do not have proficiency in intimidation.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised with that. I would have thought that'd be something he'd take.
I do have a gamble. I have the knowledge of past lives.
Yeah.
So I could roll the check at advantage and then add my D6 to it. It might have the best chance for success.
Just above the what's your charisma score?
I'm flat.
Okay.
It would be a flat roll at advantage plus a D6.
Could be worse.
If that, or just a +5.
Right.
Is it bad that I'm just seeing the Baldur's Gate 3
I know
math plus 1 to 6?
It's your call, dude. You are
advantage per background.
You are the local charismite.
You got that riz, son.
I mean, listen, you know me. I want to put it all on red.
What are we thinking, party?
That would be my play.
Okay.
You're gonna do it.
I'll do it.
Go for it, King.
Will, can I guide myself?
Stealthily?
If you can pull off a sleight of hand against my passive perception, I'll give it to you.
I'll put it this way. And I'm happy to do the roll, but
Sure.
I view this not as a stealth roll, but as Artemis drawing power from Dawn's Edge as he's speaking. So he's talking and his eyes start to glow. So in this way, it is a obvious magical effect, but it is part of his show.
Do you have thaumaturgy?
I do not.
Because it doesn't, if I'm correct,
It gives you advantage on. Well, I think it gives you a boost to intimidation because you can enhance the voice.
You can make yourself loud. And the Baldur's Gate 3 will grant you advantage on certain charisma rolls.
Yeah.
Too bad this ain't Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Every day of my life, I wake up and that's what I think.
Too bad this ain't BG3.
Yep.
Is there any verbal or somatic components or whatever to guidance?
Verbal and somatic.
Yeah.
His voice swells. He clenches his fist.
If you don't want to make it obvious that you're using a spell versus some kind of natural ability or a natural strength, I'm going to say do the stealth check.
Okay.
Or the sleight of hand.
Am I still good at those?
Not likely.
No, I've been worse. Yeah, I roll it.
Okay.
I'll sleight of hand it. It's sleight of hand or is it stealth?
It'll be sleight of hand in this.
Or I'm going to tell you this. The DC for this is high. So I will give you the option of whatever's higher.
He's so nice.
I'll take the stealth then.
Okay.
It's a 14. It's not high.
Oh, we're gonna fight a dragon.
Do you want to know what the DC was?
30.
15?
24 passive perception.
Jesus. Okay, this tracks though.
Okay. Could have rolled
What
better, huh?
magics do you seek to wield here? What armies do you think would come forth? What is this you speak of?
The end. The trumpeting. The harrowing rays of the abyss is coming. It will swallow up your swamp along with the rest of Turil, unless you aid us. Unless you purge the rot at its source.
He was very angry for a moment, but then he pulls back.
Say your abyss is coming. I have time that you don't, as I still reside here in a form that many cannot touch. I just merely have to outlast you and them, and I will gain servants again, and I will kill all who come for me and my horde.
Dagon has no use for your horde, or for you. But if you think you can outlast the creature that predates the demon lords, then by all means, the floor is yours.
You
Make an
think
intimidation
infested-
check.
At what point did we reach a level where we were like, we can just like out like man a dragon?
Because respecting him got us shit.
Arguable, but okay.
It didn't get me what I wanted, Will, at
That's
the
fair.
15.
Okay.
Leave my home. And when you have lost all other options and you come back to my door pleading like the weak, insignificant insects that you are, be prepared with more gifts and groveling. This will be the one time I kindly let you leave with your lives. Shoo.
And I look Starcaller in his eye. What am I seeing?
Oh, it is...
I'm like, doggy god.
There is a full yin-yang in Starcaller's being right now, just like... And Starcaller will turn, and then he'll look back. We will return, but it will not be us who grovel then. And he starts to pace out while he sees that the dragon takes the bait.
Run, little kitten. Run.
We'll tell the River King his bitch said hello.
We roll for initiative next episode.
Hey everyone, welcome to the end of the episode. 2 quick announcements for you. You've already heard us say it 100 times. We have a Discord. What are you waiting for? Get in here. We have so many amazing like-minded DMs in there. A lot of players as well, people new to D&D. Some people have been in there a long time, and everyone's just having a nice time sharing tips, tricks, talking about one-shots, talking about Curse of Strahd, talking about Out of the Abyss, all the things. So definitely think about joining us. You can find the link to join our Discord at linktree.com/themadnesstable. You can also find our other social media links there, including our TikTok. And boy howdy, Andrew Walker has been killing it on TikTok, posting the most random mad memes you had ever seen. So definitely consider following us there as well. Lastly, if you've made it this far, consider leaving us a 5-star review in whatever podcatcher you're currently listening. 5-star reviews are instrumental in pushing us up the charts and getting us in new listeners, which is really what we're looking for to get the name out there. So consider doing that for us. We would be forever in your debt. But that's all for now. And we will see you in the next episode when...